welcome to the Monday night edition of the IWK 710 Daily Sesh Education Mondays. I'm your joint host, Ron McNabb, and tonight we're going to spend the next 30 minutes or so having fun, educating while medicating. So, how's everyone doing tonight? I'm at a different location right now. I'm out at my brother in law's. I'm actually out in my truck right now, as you can see. Um, I'm just going to share this out a bit here and get some music on. And hopefully, a few people will be joining in here. And hopefully, the music's not too loud. And so, just give me a moment. I'm just going to share here. Hey, Timothy, how's it going? Just give me a moment. There we go. Okay. So yeah, good evening, Louise. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about tonight. I don't have an update on my grow. We kind of came out here on a bit of short notice. We were supposed to actually go out last week, and just with all the chaos with getting the truck fixed, couple transmission lines blow on me. So got them done. Hey Douglas, how's it going? Mike Ellis, James Moon, Mr. Moonman. Timothy says going great, smoking some pink Kush. I love pink Kush. It's quite nice. I've got LA Confidential, obviously, tonight. That's what I still have. And so, yeah. As I said, we were supposed to come out here last week to my brother-in-law's, but just with getting the truck fixed and all that, it was like, no, we're going to take it easy. And I had some snow blowing I had to do on the driveway as well that didn't get done because I was working on the truck. And so it was kind of a mess. And my son, he's got a low riding car. Well, it's not a low rider, but it doesn't have a whole lot of ground clearance, and he was kind of going in ruts and that. So I figured, you know what, I better get out there, and spent quite a bit of time. I guess it was Saturday. What's today? Today's Monday, so it must have been Friday and Saturday when I was out doing the snow blowing. And so we decided to come out here today. We're going to stay overnight and head back home tomorrow. My brother-in-law lives just about an hour from us, just outside of North Bay. For anyone in the who knows the area, I know Louise is from Sudbury area. I'm not sure who else is listening that might know the area as well. It's actually more like Astraville or Corbeil, but closer to Astraville. So yeah. We kind of just been taking it easy today. We slept in. Well, I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep in. I guess I did a little bit, but yeah, don't really have a whole lot to really discuss right now. It's really cold this morning. Hey, Mike Powell. It was. Let me look at my phone. I think it was like minus 31. Shoot, I gotta go to pictures. Yeah, it was minus 31, feeling like minus 36 this morning. And I have a video starting my truck with the remote. 24-year-old truck, and she growled a little bit, but she started. And Astraville did a lot of hockey tournaments over there. Yeah. James Moon says, "What's up?" So yeah. So what else? What's everyone else smoking tonight? I know Timothy said he's smoking pink Kush. Yeah, Timothy's smoking pink Kush. What's everyone else smoking? I'm just gonna get my bong ready here, so I'm not busy talking, so I can actually catch the 710 instead of missing it like I sometimes do. Um, so yeah, uh, hmm, I don't. Like I said, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about except I don't know. It's just been one of those days. Oh, where's my lighter? Here we go. I was gonna. Oh, that wouldn't work. Anyways, I'm gonna hit the bong early right now. I kind of think I kind of need it, so we'll do another one at 7:10 in a moment. Haven't just a cigarette. You know what? Oh, Mike, yeah. Sorry, but I really wish you could partake when we're on these shows and that. But you know what? Hey, I'll make sure to have one at the end of the night for you, bud. Um, but yeah, I was gonna say something I can't remember. Nothing right now. I'm not smoking anything right now, Louise. Oh, I'm too funny. Smoking peanut butter. Peanut butter. Oh, peanut butter souffle, maybe. That sounds kind of interesting. I've never had any of the peanut butter ones, like peanut butter breath or anything like that. Certainly would be interested in trying sometime. And Mike says it is what it is. Take a toke from me. I definitely will. Definitely will, bud. And so yeah, we're also getting ready to. We're starting with, like I mentioned last week, we're starting with planning of our garden again this year, expanding. We're going to move some stuff around and kind of rethinking what we're doing. Um, we're getting ready to buy. Well, we already got some of our seeds. We ordered them from, I think, I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Reputable seed company in Ontario or whatever. I guess it's OSC or OCS. It's not not the Ontario Cannabis Store. oh, OSC, Ontario Seed Company, I believe it is. And so we've already got an order received there. Uh, this reminder alarm, just hold on a second. There we go. And we have a bunch of other seeds we got to get. I can just get them locally from our local hardware store. They've got some seeds in there as well. And so, yeah, I'm going to be getting ready to start clearing out a little bit of a space in the basement so we can start do our vegetable starts from seed. And I got to get some lighting. I don't have any lighting. I don't need much. It's just got to be. It can be fluorescent lighting. It doesn't even have to be a plant light. A plant light obviously would be better, but hey, I try to do things as cheap as I can without wasting my resources. And if something is going to work that doesn't cost as much, then hey, why not? And we're coming up to we're coming up to 7:10 in a moment. So I'm gonna fill the bong up here again. Yeah, I got like a trouble light all set up in here, and extension cord running from the house, and a laptop's plugged in, and it's actually kind of cozy in here. My brother said, "Oh, it's gonna be too cold out there for you." I said, "Nah, I'll be fine. I get the truck running right now. I got the heat on, so can't complain. At least I'm not sitting out on the porch right now, because when I go outside and smoke with him, we're sitting on the porch. and damn, is it cold. Sometimes we're out in the shop out back. There's a wood stove out there, but we're not always out there right now. So, anyways, I miss 710 because I'm gabbing again. Gabby McNabby, I guess. So, happy 710 Easties. Light them if you got them. And I've also, oh, hold on. I've also been smoking joints mostly for the past week. I had a bit of a head cold. And the moment I would suck up on the bong, the very second that smoke hit my the back of my throat, no, I just want to cough right out. And so I didn't want to risk blowing the weed out of the bowl and blowing my bowl up. Like I've done that before, and the bowl goes flying out, the water goes shooting out, bowls crashed all over the ground. So I just switched over to the joints, figuring, what the hell. And I prefer joints anyway, as I've said before. But I do use a little bit more weed because I kind of tend to pack them up a little bit, and I very rarely will not smoke a whole joint. Even if it's a gram joint, I'll smoke it right down. Don't I don't have roaches. I use filter tips when I do my joints. So there's no point in me hanging on to it. I might as well just smoke it right down. And Mike said happy 710 to everyone. And so, yeah, some of the stuff we're going to be, I'll talk a little bit about our gardening. We're going to do peas again. We usually do a couple of different types. We do like a sugar snap pea, and then there's another one. I can't remember what the name of it is. And Doug says happy 710 all. What am I doing here? There we go. A touchscreen laptop, so I'm kind of like I have to hit what the comment is to make it pop up on the screen. And you know what? I just realized I don't have a banner running here. There we go. We'll do that. Go back to comments. So, yeah, and then we'll even though potatoes, we haven't really gotten, like, if you're looking at the land space used to grow the potatoes and what it costs to buy potatoes in the store, what we're getting, it almost doesn't make sense growing potatoes, because you can buy them quite cheap at times in the store, and like $2 a bag, and so. But we are definitely going to do potatoes again this year. Last few years, we've done 3 varieties. I think we're just going to drop down to 2. We're going to do red potatoes for sure, because there's nothing better than fresh red potatoes right out of the garden, especially used in a potato salad. Um, they're great. The other one is I think the yellow flush, the Yukon Golds. Um, they make awesome mashed potatoes. What we like doing is make garlic mashed potatoes. Roasted garlic mashed potatoes. So we'll roast a whole head of garlic and squeeze it all out into the mashed potatoes, and it's really, really good. That's another thing I'm going to be planting. I had hoped to get it done, had it in the ground in the fall, this past fall, but with my wife hurting her foot and other stresses going on, I just kind of had to pick my battles, and that was one of the ones that kind of lost. But definitely this fall, I want to get some garlic in the ground, and my wife and I, we go through a lot of garlic. Um, we use garlic in almost every meal that we make. And also we'll be using it in like pickling and stuff too. So we want to try to grow as much as we can. And garlic is one of those things where the cheap garlic at the store comes from sources that we're not really wanting to have. Um, and the more expensive ones, it just becomes cost prohibitive to buy it with how much we go through. So again, that's one of the things that we want to focus on growing. Same thing with strawberries. We have a small strawberry patch that my one of my boys, his girlfriend's grandmother gave us. Probably about a dozen or so runners from her patch that was overgrown, and so we planted them, and they've already started sending runners out uh, on their own as well last year, and that was the first year that we had them. And we even had a few strawberries growing on them last year, and they were the sweetest strawberries I've ever had. And so we're definitely expanding the strawberry garden this year. We're going to double it. Right now, it's probably about a 20 foot by, is it 20 foot or 10 foot? No, maybe it's 10 or 12 foot by 3 foot. So we're gonna double it and just make another bed just on the other side of it with a small path going between them. So we'll have it'll be like 10 or 12 foot by 6 foot. And Mike's asking here, have I ever used old tires to grow potatoes? Not for potatoes. I have used tires for zucchini plants, cucumbers, a few other plants too. I've kind of gotten away from using the tires just from the fact of the possibility of chemical leaching and stuff. Trying to get away from that as much as I can. That's the whole idea of us growing a lot of our own food. Um, we usually grow about 4 or 5 different types of tomato. Well, I think last year we had 5 different types of tomatoes. This year it'd probably be about 3 to 4. We'll probably do there's some form of cherry tomato, like a Tiny Tim or uh, Sweet 100 or something like that. Then we usually do a beefsteak, and then there's another one. It's called Early Girl, I think it is. No, not Early Girl. Early Anna. Early Anna. It's kind of like a uh, 2 to 3 inch tomato. Great for sandwiches. Great for dicing, like wedging up to have salt and pepper on as a side. Um, Last year we did a lot of onions, three different kinds. Yes, green onions, uh, green onions. Oh, hold on, my alarm's going off there. Green onion, yellow storage onion, and Spanish onion, as well as leeks. Now, with the onions, again, that's one of the things. Like you can buy bags of cooking onions, 10-pound bags, for like $1.88 or less. Even with most likely prices going up, some of those foods just naturally will fall under certain pricing because of end of season old stock and such like that. Like last year's potatoes type of thing, you usually can get them for like $1.88 a bag or whatever. Um, I kind of prefer them because they're a lot more starchy. So they're great for making homemade French fries, fried potatoes. So yeah, we're coming up to 7 4. Well, it'll be 4:20 for West Coast. So you know what? I'm gonna fill the bowl up here again and probably make it on time here. Oh, you know what? It's actually getting kind of hot in here because I'm also wearing a big marshmallow jacket. With the delay, it's probably 7:20 my time now. So happy 4:20 West Coast. Light them if you got them. I gotta open the window, let some of the smoke out. Kind of hotboxing myself in here. Oh man. Actually, that cool air feels nice. As I said, I was getting kind of hot in here. Um, but just gonna look at the comment here. I've been growing eat green onions from sprouted yellow cooking onions. Yummy. Yeah, you know what? That's one thing a lot of people they don't realize you can do. Um, just your cooking onions when they start sprouting in the cupboard, you put them in the right condition, and you can grow the spring onions like that and use them. Yeah, they're so delicious. Um, why waste? Why waste good food? And that's the other thing too is when you grow your own vegetables, uh, even if we don't use all of it, like we had. I don't have a cold cellar. That's one of our issues. So we're trying to rethink of how we should be storing stuff. We 2 years in a row now we've lost a lot of butternut squash and spaghetti squash. Well, actually, we didn't do butternut squash last year. Uh, Spaghetti squash, we lost quite a bit of them. Um, I had them stored in the fridge downstairs, but they would only last so long. The fridge doesn't get opened very often, but it's enough to allow the humidity and temperature change to take place too often, which reduces the shelf life of the vegetables drastically. We do. I just said do. We do a lot of vegetables for processing in the freezer. We do cooked squash or raw diced squash in freezer bags. Um, we do tomatoes. We'll sometimes just cook it down a little bit. It's sort of like stewed tomatoes. Put it in a freezer bag and freeze it. Or, as I said before, freeze them as whole. Kind of, we just core them out and score the bottom. Stick them in a freezer bag, 9, 8, 9, 10, or whatever. And then we just pull them out right from frozen, put them on a cookie sheet with frozen chopped zucchini, um, onions from our garden if we have any that are ready. We'll use the onions. Um, but I'm all stuffed up here. um, I'm fighting that music. Give me a second here. So yeah, and then we'll just broil it, like bake it in the oven, and turn it on broil at the end, and brown it up, and it's really really good. Everything kind of gets caramelized. Um, getting back to storage. So we want to get more and do a lot more water bath canning, but we're also looking at getting a pressure canner. Uh, we with a pressure canner, there's many more foods that we can um, can that we can't do right now. With a water bath canner, it doesn't get hot enough for long enough to be able to safely cook out any pathogens or whatever. So it kind of allows. I can't remember specifically because my memory is kind of shot. My wife knows a lot of that, where certain foods, I think it's pretty much any meats, you can't water bath can. It has to be done in a pressure canner. And with a pressure, when it's a pressure can, it can be sitting on the shelf for probably years. Um, so that's what we want to do is get into that. Now, pressure canner does cost quite a bit, especially because we want to get like a large one that uh, well, 'cause you can get them that they're double stacked. Like you can double stack your jars. I can't remember specifically how many jars. I think it might be 12 jars that it will hold, 6 on each level. I think my wife remembers all that stuff. I'd have to look it up And so I'm not going to do that because again I'm not just on my laptop here, so I don't have my second screen to do other stuff. So I'd be going off of being able to see the feed, and so yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's what we want to do is be able to preserve more of our stuff, and we're hoping to be able to get chickens. Um, we wanted to get chickens this past year, and it just couldn't happen. Just life circumstances just didn't allow it, and but we haven't given up. Our goal is to still have them. I do have some of the infrastructure for building a run and a coop for them. Um, we have the knowledge of what we need to do. I can source a lot of the stuff that materials I need to build, probably from my local dump. Um, but that also requires a lot of time with going out to the dump. Even the dump is like 5 minutes down the road one way, and then the other one that's open in the afternoons is probably about 10, 12 minutes away. It still requires time, and time requires mental energy and all that. And that's one of the things I've just kind of learned to do is like with dealing with stress and stuff is just learn to let a lot of things go that I really, really can't control. And I think I can and want to, but really, it's you don't like. I don't want to put too much on myself. I did that for many, many years, and it didn't work out well. And so I don't know where I was going with all that, but uh, Mike Ellis comments: fresh eggs every day. Yeah, you know what? That's what I want. I'm really looking forward to that. Um, I used to have 4 eggs at a time for breakfast. Now I usually have like one or two. Uh, I used to have eggs probably almost every day. We used to go through. Well, we had 7 of us in the house with my 4 kids, and we looked after for 7 years. We looked after my wife's brother, who has Down syndrome, and so we used to go through. Oh, I guess it was 4 dozen eggs a week at least, and it was crazy. My grocery bill was like, oh man, something like 1,200 a month. Used to spend almost as much for groceries as my rent, but we never did without. I always shop for great deals, and when we lived in Toronto, I used to go into the Asian grocery stores, and I'd get excellent cuts of meat for like dirt cheap. And this one place, it was great. I used to get uh, pork chops, and they had it as one whole big rack of pork sitting there, and you could choose what thickness you wanted them to cut it at. So I had to get them to do it in like 1 inch thick slices, and it was something like $1.19 a pound or something like that. And I'd buy like $20 worth, but the equivalent if I were to buy that just even at No Frills or Food Basics would be like $60, $40 or $50 or something like that. And so you kind of learn how to do all that. And like I said, we never went without. Our fridge was always stuffed. And again, with growing a lot of our own food, that certainly helps. And oh, that's one thing I was saying about the squash going bad in the fridge and stuff. And even if we get a large harvest and it's not it's way more than we can even consume before even getting a chance to process it any other way, um, uh, it's not a waste because it all goes into the compost. And so I got I've expanded the compost bin. For the last 6 years I had just one bin, you should really have at least three, where you have it in different stages as it's aging. So you always have one that is ready to use when you need it, rather than having to wait a couple of years for it to all settle. But we just even the volume that we consume, that we produce in the compost bin, um, because at the end of the season when we're pulling plants, like you pull your zucchini plants, so you've got like massive plants that have got like huge leaves and big stalks and big root systems and all that. You've got um or your squash vines and all that. So like right now, my compost two, like I've got two bins right now, and one is almost full to the top, and it's about 42 inches high, and it's almost up to the top, and it's probably about 50 inches wide, 50 by 42 or something like that, by 42, and so I've got one of those pretty much almost filled, and then the second one that I built this past fall is already half to three quarters full now. So one of the things I'm going to be doing early spring is I'm going to set up another uh, uh, compost bin on next to it. And what I've done to build that, it was just out of skids, and use 2x4s for bracing, free wood from either the dump or from the local lumber yard. My father-in-law, there's a few places in North Bay that have skids out there on a regular basis for people to take. They don't care. They put them out there on purpose for people to take. And so he's got a small trailer. So every once in a while he'll hook his trailer up to his CRV and go into the city and just see if they've got anything there. And if it is, he'll just load them all up, and he comes back to the shop here and then takes the time to dismantle them. He's built racks up on the shop wall for some of the longer pieces. There's other shelves that they built, him and my brother-in-law built, under the workbench for some of the smaller pieces. And that's what they do here. And then once in a while, my father-in-law will bring a load over to me. And just looking here, Mike's asking, do I grow organically, or do you organically grow using your compost for your girls, or just soil and newts? My outdoor plants, I do my four recreational. I do them outdoor, um, and then my licensed medical grow I do indoor in the cabinet. Um, for the outdoor, I use compost from the garden, along with Gaia Green, um, the Power Bloom, and the general, the all-purpose, no, general. I can't remember. It's the one that you use for the veg. It's like 444, or something like that. And then the Power Bloom, I can't remember what the numbers are on that. But I have used outdoors. I've had them in barrels, like big or pots, or I've had them in like the blue barrels. And I'm not really happy with doing them in the barrels. I'm going to try something new this year and put them directly in the ground. I'm fighting this music. There we go. And so I'm going to try that, just going straight into the ground. I'm thinking that will help reduce my watering time, um, because obviously in like a pot or barrel above ground is going to dry out a lot quicker than something that's in the ground that's being able to pull up moisture from all around it under like in the ground there. So that's going to be something for me to look forward to this year, see how that all goes. I have had some pretty big plants in the barrels. Last year, I was a little bit late getting out because of the surgery I had, losing my grow that I had done last fall for my winter grow indoors, and that just set me back with the recovery and all that. And just I had so much on the go with the garden. Um, and I didn't have. I had to go and buy seeds, but I didn't have the money right away, and so I was late buying the seeds. This year, I've got seeds, and I've also got clones from plants I currently have growing. So I'm in really good shape for starting up for my outdoor plants, um, so I can have them be a fairly good size going out. I want to basically have them in a 7 gallon pot, vegged for a while indoors. Get it nice and big and train it and do some LST training. Um, so that way, when I am ready to put it out in the ground outside, I've already got a fairly good established plan. Um, Again, just trying to take a step back, and that's why in my indoors grow, I'm going just down to 2 plants at each stage. Um, so when I'm doing cloning or seeds, it'll be two, well, with extras just in case they don't all make it, but it'll be the 2 strongest that will be picked from there to go to the 1 gallon pots, and then to a larger pot, and then finish off in the 7 gallon. Um, Actually, I'm thinking maybe of just even doing like tote bins, because my cabinet, I'll be able to have 2 plants in there and have a scrog, and it's like 3 by 5. So I'm thinking 2 tote bins will give a nice, good, large uh, root base there, which will also promote larger growth above. Um, so I think I should have no problem filling out 3 by 5 space in there just with 2 plants in a scrog, and reduces my watering time and all that hugely. Instead of having to water like 10 plants, like 8 or 10 plants, and having to shuffle them around and take them out because I can't reach all the way into the back. Um, and That's the other thing I want. I still haven't done it. It's just a matter of being able to source the materials. Um, is build like a gravity fed watering system for myself. I'll just have it like up on a wheeled stand. Um, Fill it up with my untreated well water, um, and then uh, pH it, and then just have like a gravity fed system on a hose wand to water the bins. I think that should work. Again, I'm just looking for ways to make it easier for myself, because I don't want things to become too much for myself that it becomes overwhelming. Um, and then it becomes more annoying than beneficial and therapeutic. So uh, that's where I'm going. Just trying to simplify things, less work, uh, better results, um, and just go from there. And hey, Carolyn, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in. So we're gonna close out here in a moment. We'll have one more talk before we go, and I'll have this one here in for Mike Ellis, who is at work and is unable to partake at the moment. So I'll have one here for you. Oop, I almost dropped the lighter, and that would have been terrible because I would have gone between the seat. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in. I don't know if you just tuned in, but or whatever. But we're going to be out of here in a moment. But do appreciate everyone coming tonight. So here we go, and Mike, this one's for you. Okay, so we're gonna leave here now, and just want to make sure you want to just remember to tune in every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from Education Mondays to get away for 30 minutes on IWK. And so let's just all leave with a smile tonight on our face, and hopefully we've all learned a little bit more of something or whatever, just to help us along our way here. And just grateful for this healing herb that we all praise. And I don't know. For me, I can say I can only speak for myself, but it's changed my life, and I certainly know it has for others. And so there you go. Peace, everyone. Take care.